The budget, jobs, and the economy continue to dominate our national conversation. And our next guest wants to keep your taxes low and stabilize the economy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Robert Traynham. Joining me is Representative Lynn Jenkins, Republican from Kansas. Congresswoman, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
So we unfortunately have about a $15.7 trillion debt right about now. Millions of people are either struggling to live just a normal life. Unemployment's at 8.2%. What can we do to get this economy back on track?
Well, the good news is those of us in the House have a plan to fix what's ailing this nation. And the two problems are the debt and the deficits and jobs and the economy.
Sure.
And the two are not unrelated. I think if we fix the issue of the debt and the deficits, then there's some confidence in the economy and job creators start creating jobs and we can get things going. So House Republicans have a path laid out in the form of a budget, something the Senate hasn't done, that will eventually get this nation to a balanced budget and eliminate the public debt. Likewise, we've created about 30 jobs bills that we passed over the Senate to get the economy stoked. But a lot of it does lie in tax reform and entitlement reform.
Well, let's talk about that for a few moments, because Congresswoman, you said perhaps we need to balance the budget to get our fiscal house in order. There are a lot of folks, I guess, on the Democratic side that would say that's all great, but we cannot simply balance the budget on the backs of the middle class or lower middle class individuals. And what they mean by that specifically is if you balance the budget, you're going to have to cut a lot of programs. And how can you cut those programs when the economy is just still limping along?
Well, the difference in opinion is I think they think the pie is only going to ever be this big. And we believe you can grow the pie by stoking this economy and growing the economy. And the way you do that is through some of the jobs bills that we passed over the Senate. A lot of them have to do with tax reform, regulation, over-regulation, litigation reforms. But one of the drivers in our Committee on Ways and Means is the tax reform package. And we've been working for 2 years now on comprehensive, fundamental tax reform. What we have now is broken. It is not working for us.
And of course, the Republicans control the House of Representatives. The Democrats control the Senate. Anything that the House passes on a partisan bill, if you will, a partisan line vote, the House and the Senate says dead on arrival. So how do you reconcile the two? The
good news is on some of the biggest drivers, tax reform and, say, Medicare reform, that's the biggest driver of our debt. We have bipartisan ideas that we are working together on. On the Medicare front, we've got the Ryan-Wyden plan, which is bipartisan, Wyden being a Democrat in the Senate, Paul Ryan, House Republican, and they have a plan, and that is being pursued, I hope, on both sides of the rotunda. Similarly with tax reform, our chairman Dave Camp is working very well with Senator Baucus, a Democrat on the Senate, to advance.
And Dave Camp is a Republican from Michigan.
Is, right. So, you know, I think there's an opportunity here. What we need is some presidential leadership, someone willing to expend some political capital to get this done. But if it all comes together, we can get this nation back on track.
And do you think that's something that's going to happen before the November elections or after the November elections?
Well, I would guess that it is probably going to happen in the next 2 to 4 years. But the good news is we can get there, and we are marching towards that right now, laying the groundwork, setting the table, if you will, for all of those things to happen.
Congresswoman, thank you very much for joining us. But what I hear you saying is that it may take at least 2 to 3 more years before we can get together.
You know, it's taken decades to make the mess. It'll take a few to clean it up.
All right, there you have it. And of course, thank you for joining us for this edition of Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Robert Traynham. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next time. Take care.